doing this right. I don't know if it's too dark in here. But good afternoon, everyone. It's Patti. Yep, your famous and crazy hillbilly soap maker. Today, after I drink some coffee, I'll probably get in trouble for it. But let's see. Today, we are going to make and talk about some infusions. Look at this stuff. I should have had this already. I don't know if it's going to be too dark. Let's see. Alright, maybe not. If it is, then just hit that. Tell me about it. Okay. Today we're going to talk about infusions. Yay! Long overdue. Yes, I've been terribly busy, but I am not complaining. Alright. I got my crock pot out and I am low on everything, so I'm just going to do a little bit of education here. So, bear with me. We're going to talk about infusions. Nowadays, it used to be just infusions would be making teas, herbal teas. And that's just part of the infusions. We have oil infusions. Excuse me. Better get my coffee. I got allergies going on. It's all Aveline's fault. Okay. We have water infusions, which are teas. And we have oil infusions, which we're going to talk about today. And also infusions, which are tinctures, and not all infusions that can be in the category of tinctures. Tinctures is concentrated herbal extracts made with alcohol. Some are made with vinegar, and I would say that was probably a few other things, but we're only going to talk about the alcohol. And vinegar, you just place the alcohol instead, but it's very, very, very concentrated, and usually you get it in a little vial with a dropper. It's usually made for ingestion, just different types of remedies. Very good, and I'm not going to go into that. There's a whole lot of stuff out there about that. But I'm just going to touch bases on the tinctures, and not all infusions are tinctures or tinctures. Tinctures are infusions, but not all infusions can be considered as a tincture. There, I said that. Today we're going to do chamomile flowers. And the really nice thing about chamomile, and if you're allergic, don't use it. I think that the allergies for chamomile, which is very, very mild, would be like if you were had allergies with mums or something in that category. Very rare, but some people, they can't hack it. So make sure that you know what you can have and what you don't. And I'm not talking about selling. I'm talking about us making them. If you want to sell them, make sure that, you follow all the procedures and you put the warnings on and everything like that. I do infusions, oil infusions, to add into my soaps and to make balms and salves, and I'm sure most of the soap makers out there, that's what they do. So explaining it in hillbilly terms, because there's a lot to cover, and I hope that you can understand it a little bit better instead of being so deathly afraid of, thinking about infusions and herbal, concoctions. So, the chamomile, I put them in here. I got a whole bunch, but that's what your chamomile looks like. And chamomile is marigolds, and yes, you could go out in your garden and get marigolds, and It's not as powerful, I don't think, but it's in the same family, and yes, you can do it. So, it's an antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal. What I love about it is skin healing. It's a very, very good, mild herb to use, and like I said, not very many people have allergies or allergic to it. What it's good for in the healing of the skin is wounds, burns, itching, rashing, things like that. But what I want to talk to you about is when it's cleansing wounds, you do not want to use, and I mean do not want to use it in an oil, especially if it's a fresh wound. And what you do is you kind of take the bacteria that's on your skin and stuff, and then you seal it in that wound. So don't do that. Use a tea infusion, and just, or put it on the wound. You can cleanse it. That's good. And let it pat dry, or just leave it alone and let it, heal to a better, where the wound is healing in the inside. You don't want it in a fresh wound, putting oil of any type on there. So a lot of people don't understand that. So use a water infusion, a tea, and just, coat the skin. You can, cleanse the wound that way. Burns, long as it's not 3rd degree, it is so nice to put on there. You can do it as a tea infusion, which helps soothe the skin and the burn. Also, you can also put it on as a salve, and that helps a lot, easing, the sensation of that. Okay, rashes, you can use the oil infusion. Long as it's not a deep, you can tell the difference. So, that I think is the most important thing. Very good for your skin, from your knees from your feet to your knees to your scalp. It's a very, very good herb to use, especially just starting out. Hang on. Yep, it got there before I did. Telemarketers, I can't wait until they pass that law that they cannot do this. Okay, again. So, enough of that. What I was getting at. Okay, making water, which is a tea infusion with the herbs, which we're using chamomile flowers. Just make up your tea, boil it, and then let it steep, and set it aside, strain it, and then you can use it in your lotions, creams, shampoos, hair conditioners, and anything like that. Very, very good. Just easy infusion. But this is the thing I want everyone to know about, is that when you use it for lotions, creams, shampoos, anything with water, you want to use a preservative. And we're not going in about the preservatives. I already did that. But you want to increase it. I use Optifin because it is one of the closest to the natural preservatives out there. Yes, they do have really good ones that they're working on, and that's good. What you want to stay away from is anything that will throw formaldehyde and other things. Just stay away from it. That's why we do it, at home, and we are a small business instead of a big corporation. They have to protect themselves. So what do? They use a preservative that's not good for you, and out on the market, we're talking big corporations. So that's the thing. Increase your preservative. It's usually like a 1%. Put it up to 1.5. And the reason is because you want to make sure that there isn't any bacteria. Well, there's anywhere you look, you're going to have bacteria on your skin, whatever. But the thing is you don't want your preservative to work overtime. So protect yourself. Get a good preservative, the most natural that you can, whatever you decide to use. Like I said, I use Octafin. So we won't go into that, but very, very good. I mean, oh my goodness, I have made herbal shampoos with, a tea, infusions and lotions and creams and all different kinds of stuff. It is just beautiful. Chamomile is very good to use in that, and it helps to soothe the skin, itchy skin, if you have psoriasis, eczema, very, very good. Then, another thing you can use chamomile flowers for healing the skin is using it in dry or liquid, that is water, in tea baths. And this is really exciting because I just love doing this, and I hope that I'm not boring you guys. But you all seen these muslin bags? Yes. Whatever your mixture, your concoction is that you want to put together, powdered, let's say goat's milk, buttermilk, yogurt, Epsom salts, sea salts, then your herbs, chamomile you can use every day if you have a problem and you want to soak your skin. But just look on there, find something that you really like to soak in, add some ground oats, just all different kinds of stuff. But if you just use chamomile and you make up your little concoction for a dry herb tea, and all you do is you fill that baby up with all the goodies, and I usually fill it up. For me, I like to have a very, very good concentration, and just throw it in the water while your water is being filled up, and there you go. If you use any other herbs making a dry tea, make sure you read up on it and see what the possibilities of getting too much. I can't even think at the moment what it would be, but we are sticking with chamomile flowers on this one, so you can do it every day. Putting Epsom salts in there is very good. Like I said, the milks, and of course the ground oats, beautiful. Add a little bit of essential oil. Just put it in there and mix it up with your Epsom salts or something like that. Make sure that it's nice and dry and it doesn't want to get really clumpy. Put a little bit of baking soda in there. Whatever you decide to use as a good soak. And that way you don't have things floating around in your tub. It's all contained in here. And then you reuse this. You just take it and you empty out everything and rinse it out, throw it in the wash. If you got a couple of them, always buy them when they're on sale so that they're not very expensive. Once we have our shop, I'll probably have a lot of these, and different containers, big containers that you can scoop and put whatever you want in there. And yes, I would sell that. Let's see. Oh, the liquid for a tea bath. Make up a tea. Chamomile flowers, make it strong. Steep it, strain it. If you wanted to add different things like a bath bomb or whatever, in the tub, that would be fine. You can even put more in that. Just gives it a little bit more extra strength if you steep the tea or the chamomile into a tea and then just add it into your water. Throw one of these in that you have made up, or just use the tea. and Epsom salts. That would be a very good, relaxing, soothing. If you have sunburns, which we're getting into the winter months, you might not have sunburn, but if you have itchy skin or anything like that, just, make up a tea and stick it in there with the chamomile flowers. Okay. Tinctures. This is a really fun one before we get into it. Is, like I said, very, very high concentrated herbal extracts. And what you would do is you would use, I didn't get it out, vodka, any kind of alcohol that's 80-90 proof, so that would be 40 to 50%. You want to keep that. And when you're making the tinctures with the alcohol and the vinegar, I've got some that's 2-3 years old with the vinegar, but with the alcohol, indefinite. It is a shelf life of 30 years down the road. I remember my granny still having some of it left out, but you only need just a little bit, whatever you're going to use it for. Usually it's ingesting, but you could put it on skin, diluting it. If you are making a tincture with chamomile or something else, let's say some kind of mint because of your tummy or whatnot, you would want to dilute it, like put it in some tea or put a little drop in a glass or whatever. And I tell you what's really good, and that is elderberries. Making a tincture with that. I make the syrup because that's where I get the grandbabies and me. We just take it that way. But elderberries, you've heard me talk about that before. I'm telling you, you want to keep the flu away, cold, all different kinds of stuff. I've talked about that before. Last year, 2 of the grandbabies got mono. And so you know how that is, 2-3 weeks out of school because they're just laying around and it's got to take its course. And when you're dealing with viruses and not bacteria, it just, what can you take? Usually 2 weeks out, they are at home, they do not feel good, they have no energy whatsoever, and it takes its course, and hopefully it's not a secondary infection or something going on with that. But both of the 2, I started megadosing them with the elderberry syrup, and oh my goodness, they were back in school in 4 days, 3-4 days. They could have went, whatever, but had to keep it. Doesn't contaminate the rest of the kids in there. Once you have it, they've already been exposed, but when it starts in, you just have to let it take its course. But it's something, mono, usually everybody's exposed and you don't even know it. The illness comes later and then, going through that. But let me tell you, I am a firm believer on what it does to our immune system and blah, 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 blah. But we're talking about chamomile today. So that's about all I'm going to say about the tinctures. And when you do tinctures, it depends on how much you want to do, but you want to keep it in a very, very dark, cool place, like in the back of the cupboard or whatnot, and look at it every week because alcohol evaporates, even if it's grain alcohol. So you want to keep that so you're not getting bacteria, because of the herbs floating on top and in the air and stuff. So you want to check it at least once a week, maybe 2 times a week. Shake it. Make sure that you measure, where the herbs are and the alcohol is, and just, keep adding to it. For the infusions of oil, yes, especially as soap makers, we love that. I do triple infusions. I said that before. And a triple infusion is that you put your herbs in and you fill it up with an oil that is long-lasting shelf life. And of course, I love Yes, the extra virgin olive oil. So you put that up on there, and I put it in the crock pot, and I'll show you that. And then and I leave it in about 2-3 hours on low. Then I take it and I strain and I add more. And if I have to fill up a little bit more of the oil, then I will, because you're not going to get it all out of, you know, the herbs or, you know, the flowers. So you'll be losing a little bit. So you do that 3 times. You don't have to sit there and watch it. You're going to fill it up with water and do it this way. Okay, what was one thing I was going to say? Okay, I think it went off, so I'm trying to get this fast, and then I'll have to probably splice it together or whatever. But one important thing I wanted to talk about was extracts that you buy on the market. Brambleberry, let's see, Nature's Garden, those are just a few, but all of them that you see there, and they're so doggone expensive. So, this is one thing I want you to know. This right here, I don't have very much, so I can't demonstrate, but this one I got from Nature's Garden, fractionated coconut oil, okay? When you go to do it, and I got some right here. This is my green tea, and this is with fractionated coconut oil. It's a good long shelf life. I keep looking at that to see if it's going to go off. And what you do is you will strain it, and there you have it. Okay? Very, very good. Quit wasting your money on that other stuff. And the reason why I say that is because they use a solvent to extract and help extract, but they use the coconut, fractionated coconut oil to do that. If you look at the ingredients, you will see that. But they don't have to claim what the solvent is to bring it out. And that's just like olive oil, like the pumice. Yes, it's at the end, and it's very good for soaping, but they don't have to put in what the solvent is that they did that last extraction. So, you guys, whatever one that you use all the time, whatever, get you some herbs and make it up. Just strain it. There you go. It is pure and it is good. So, fractionated coconut oil. Quit wasting your money on those little bitty things of, you know, extracts. So, that's one thing I can tell you about. Alrighty, okay, I think that's about it. Oh, when you do the tinctures or something and you have a metal lid for your alcohol, you want to put something over it because you don't want it to, you know, start making it dissolve and then get in there. So do like that. I love these. I told you before about these jars. You can get them in Walmart or anywhere else that sells canning jars, so those make them very nice. You can use the jars, and don't throw away any of your jars. So there you go. They usually have a coating on the top of the jar or the lids. See, you can use that because you want to be shaking this stuff up. Okay, I am going to pause and I'm going to get ready to demonstrate that, and I hope if you have any questions, just leave it below or put, you know, ask questions, cabin fever soaps, you know, I got a link down below. But so I'm going to try to see if I can get some more room on this, and we will. Okay, before we get started, I am going to try to just do a shout out for, I think every time I do a video I'm going to try to do 2 other YouTube channels, soap makers and things that are interesting and whatnot. And so today I have Soapy Oaks Farm, and that's Patrick's channel. And let me tell you, he does infusions, he does a little bit of everything. It is just a really neat, well put together YouTube channel for soap makers and, you know, home, you know, just home, I can't say remedies, but maybe some of them are whatever, but just good old skin loving products. And I think he does have a website that he sells his goodies on, but he puts that together. I'm telling you what, he just got a calming voice, and he is excellent. So Patrick, this is a shout out to you. And then the next one is my beloved forever sister, soap making sister. Anyways, Renee, this is for you, and you guys can go and look at her channel. She does the silent soaping series, and it is really neat. I just absolutely love you, Renee. She comes up with some really good stuff, and soaps for love. And she will go over to her channel, and she will tell you all about it. Everything she makes 100% goes for loving others that are, not as fortunate as the rest of the world. We tend to forget about the homeless and the castaways and, women's shelters and families that are out there in California. So anyways, shout out to Renee, Soaps for Love. Love you, girl. Okay, now I'll get busy. All right, I think I cleared out some of stuff so that I won't run out. Let's hope not. I don't know if you can see this, if I can get it down any further or what. All right, hang on just 1 minute. I'll see if I put you on the table if it's a little bit better. Okay, I don't know where it went to, but it doesn't seem like I did very much space, so I don't know where I messed up. But anyways, I put the herbs in here, and then I guess it's still, yeah, it's still going. Okay, and then I put the oil in and made sure that the herbs are all covered. Okay, got that part done. I think I'm just panicking because it keeps wanting to go off on me. Okay, here's a canning lid. You see this one? It's coated. So, the only time that you have to really worry is if you are using the alcohol. So, it doesn't matter if you have just a regular canning lid. Alright, so we want that. You can use anything, any of your jars or whatnot. So that's what this is going to be. Alrighty, now, I don't know if you can see this. I will be so happy when I can find out how to use my camera. But until then, just bear with me. I'm going to take my rag, I'm going to stick it in the bottom, right there. And then I'm going to put my oil in there, and then I'm going to fill it up. Not to where it's over the top, but just enough right at the bottom part so it's not floating around. So you can use any water because it's not going inside. And let's pour it in. A little bit more. Then we're going to put it on the timer for about 2 to 3 hours. And as I said before, we will strain it, and then we will add more herbs and more oil if need be. So, it's going to go in my crock pot. And see, get them anywhere. I think I got this one at secondhand store. I just get all different sizes and shapes. If you're going to use a big thing, like a quart, then you might need to get a bigger one. If not, just put tinfoil over the top of it. So it's ready to go. And I am going to put this one on low. This one only has 2 settings. I'm putting it on low. If I had the other one, you could put it on high to make it, you know, to start out with, and then get it hot and then turn it down. And I think that's what this hillbilly's gonna do. So, we are gonna plug it in. I don't know if you can see that. And let it go. And I will bring you back in a few hours and I'll show you what I do with that. All right. Okay, we are back 3 hours later. And I am going to take out, I don't know why I don't get prepared, I'm telling you. Where is it? Where is it? Well, I tell you, this is so crazy trying to find things when other people put them away. Well, okay. I can't find my little thing I use for canning, so I'm going to try my best to bring this out. Bring it over here. I hope this isn't going to be too dark for you. I don't know. Maybe. Let me try putting on the light. Might be too much. No, I guess that's better. Okay. A little bit of shadows. But now I'm going to strain this. Let me get this off first. And yeah, I am doing this wrong-handed, that's for sure. Okay, let's drop it all in there. You don't have to worry about scraping it out because we're going to be doing triple infusions. So, we're going to get out as much oil as possible and then do it again. That's all there is to it. I should put that down in there. I want to break it. Try to squeeze as much as out. If you want to use a cheesecloth, then you can use that and sit there and squeeze it all out. But I usually just don't have time, so I'm just going to put it this way. Try to get as much out as possible. I think that's about all it's going to do. Isn't that a mess? Okay, let's stick that right there. And I'm going to get my jar again. And I'm going to get some more herbs. And this will be the second. And then I do one more after that. Stick the oil back in there. Add more if you need to. So don't worry about all that being left behind. Because the next bunch, when I do this again, then the next time I leave the herbs in there and just set it up, shake it every day. You can use it for if you're going to use soap or make salve or balms or whatever you can, ointments, you can use it right then. That's why we're doing the hot, or the heat process, I should say. Just going to add a little bit more of my oil. And we do it again for 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. And then we will strain it and put it back in there. And then the next time, and you can just leave it overnight and then start it back in the morning. It's no biggie, just trying to make it a faster process. So the next time when we do this, we'll stick it back in there, and it'll probably be overnight for me. And then I will take it out and just shake it and put it up and let it be, unless I'm going to use it right away. So that's all there is to it. It's no biggie, is it? I hope everyone enjoyed this video and you don't feel, anxious about being able to make infusions, oil infusions. This is what we're doing today. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. My hair's all a mess from being outside. I love you guys, and thanks for watching, and have a blessed night. Bye-bye.